Yes, I start recording. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So then this is
Yes,
two
sir.
things are there. One is DHCP, another one is DNS. What is a DHCP? Dynamic host configuration.
Protocol.
Okay. Next. So what is DHCP server? DHCP server assign an IP address to clients automatically. So client get an IP address from DHCP server automatically. Or you can say DHCP server configure client's IP address. Once again, DHCP server configures client's IP address. Okay. So in our daily life, like when you are going to in our home, in general, like it's you have a Wi-Fi router is there, right?
Yes, sir.
Your Wi-Fi router, when you are connected to your Wi-Fi, automatically your mobile phone or a tab or a laptops or a TVs are getting an IP address. How? Because your Wi-Fi router is act like a DHCP server. Okay. So you need to open your system or a desktop or a mobile phone to configure IP address. Without IP address, we can't communicate in the network. Without IP address, we cannot communicate in the network. And we need an IP address. Who will give? Either you will assign manually or you should get automatically. Okay. You know, a lot of people believe system or our laptops or mobile phones already there is a built-in IP address is there, so we are able to communicate with it. No, guys, don't have any built-in default IP address kind of concept is not there. Of course, our NICs are having a MAC address, not a IP address. The IP addresses either you should assign manually or you should get a automatically from the server. Okay. So manual IP address. If you are assigned, like you have a knowledge on how to assign an IP address kind of stuff, then if you start assigning IP address. So what are the things? If you assign a IP address manually, so I'm going to control panel where it is. I'm going to control panel, network and internet, network and sharing center. Then go to change adapter settings. Here is a adapter. For example, I want to assign my own IP address. This is assigned automatically. A DHCP enabled yes, and it is showing some IP address, and there is a DHCP server address also showing. Means I got this IP address from DHCP server. The DHCP server address is this one. Similarly, I am going showing this one details. See it is. This is DHCP enabled. Yes, means I am the DHCP client. I am the DHCP client. This is DHCP server address. This is DHCP server address. So whenever we this is DHCP server address. It means there is a DHCP server. This DHCP server gave me an IP address and subnet mask and lease obtain, lease expiry, and DNS server address, default gateway, of course, DNS server address also. So this is my DNS server address. Okay, so the point. Came at 5. Very good. No problem. IP address. I got an IP address, subnet mask, default gateway, DHCP server address, DNS server address, the lease uptime, lease expiry from this DHCP server address for only, okay, because it's showing it is yes means you are a DHCP. But I will try to show you from this adapter only because that is our main internet adapter. So this is my DHCP enabled yes means you are a DHCP client. And there is a DHCP server is assigning an IP address to your PC. IP address, subnet mask, lease obtained and lease expiry, you're getting. It's a properties. I'm going to properties, guys. Look at here. I'm going to properties. So I want to assign an IP address. So go to IPv4, TCP IP, IPv4 Internet Protocol version 4, TCP IP, IPv4. Click on properties. Okay. Click on properties. Obtain IP address automatically. Obtain DNS server automatically. Meaning is you are telling you want to get IP address automatically from DHCP server. So you are a DHCP client in this stage. Second one, use following IP address. Use following IP address. I change the position. It means you are assigning IP address manually. Use following IP address means you have to assign an IP address as per you. Okay, so I'm assigning an IP address manually. Okay, so what are the things I filled? That those things only it will come. Okay, I didn't put a default gateway, for example. I don't have a default gateway for this adapter, and maybe I didn't put a default gateway. So only those kind of stuff only it is visible. I manually configured an IP. Details, it is DHCP enable now means this IP address configured manually, manual IP address. Okay, manual IP address. I given these IP addresses manually. If in case I realize no, it is better to give IP address automatically. I don't want to involve in assigning an IP address. I want to get IP address automatically from DHCP server. So then I select this first option. Obtain IP address automatically, including DNS server also I want to get automatically. So obtain DNS server address automatically. Select OK. So then close. Wait little and click on see DHCP enable yes because obtain IP address automatically. Of course, there is a DHCP server. Is gave me an IP address and subnet mask default. Of course, it is not giving these two information of column and lease obtain, lease expiry. So this IP address I got it from this DHCP server. And DHCP enable yes means you got an IP address from DHCP server. Okay. So that is the point I told here, guys. So do not worry. This is the pictures are there. So don't. Next. If in case I showed how to assign IP address manually. So you have an idea what network, what IP address I have to assign. You have 10 computers. You are want to assign manually to all 10 computers. You can assign it, no problem. If you have 100 computers, can you assign 100 computers? Go to one by one computer. Can I assign an IP address? It is very difficult. Lot of burden on the administration. Second. Okay, sorry. Uh, Number of device increases. It's difficult to assign IP addresses. And while you are giving an IP address, it is a possibility of typing an IP address wrongly, right? So yeah, you're typing an IP address means you may give an IP address wrongly. Some people will assign an IP address like this: 172.16. Some 10.20 is there. Instead of 172, they put a 192. If I said 192.168, then what they will do? So they will put a 172.168 or 190. So they don't listen to 192 means they said, okay, it's a 190, it is enough. 2 is not a big deal, right? So like that. So they do mistakes. So there is a possibility of entering wrong IP addresses. That too, if it is 4, 5 computers, no problem. 10 computers, no problem. 50 computers, 100 computers, 200 computers, it is very difficult to assign IP address by one. Possibility, wrong IP addresses, conflicts. What is a conflict? Means you assign an IP address more than one device, two or more devices having same IP address, conflict will occur. The conflicted devices won't communicate with anyone. Okay. So not everyone knows how to assign IP address, right? Of course, now I have shown how to give an IP address. Before that one, you may not know, some of you may not know how to assign IP address. And in our home, we have Wi-Fi adapter and all is there, but we are not assigning any IP address to our mobile phone because of lot of us don't know how to assign IP address. I know it, but lot of people don't know how to assign IP address to your devices. Means your laptop kind of stuff generally. Okay. So next, nowadays kids are using a computer for online classes or online games or anything. The elders also using. So obviously, you cannot teach them how to assign IP address like that. And another hand, for every device, you cannot assign IP address. Laptop, desktop, no problem, but mobile phone, little. Tablets, TVs, smart TVs are key. Okay. Smart TVs, printers. Printers, we don't have any interface printers. Network printers are there. Network printer, Wi-Fi printer kind of stuff. They're also required an IP address, right? So how you can able to distribute an IP address to it? It is better as the certain devices you cannot assign IP address. So what is the solution for this thing? Is a automatic type. Dynamically assign an IP address. Automatical assigning IP address or a dynamically assigning IP address from DHCP. DHCP server assign IP address to the clients. So that IP address is not stable IP address. It's not a static IP address. It is a dynamic. Means it is not a stable, not fixed IP address. When you change the network, automatically IP address will changes. Okay, you may get a different IP address in a different times of login. For example, today morning I went to office. I got some IP address. So today evening completed work and disconnected and went to home. Again tomorrow morning I went to office. I connected to that network. I got an IP address. So yesterday IP and today IP also can be different. Possibility yesterday IP address, today IP address is possible different. So no stable IP address. Next, I went to office. I connected to network there. So I got a IP address. Now my work completed. I came back to my home. Then I connected to my home network. I will get another kind of IP address. Okay. So IP address is frequently changes when you change your network. IP addresses also changes. Second one is in the manual. If you assign an IP address, the IP address won't be changed. Okay. So IP address won't be changed. For example, I went to office in morning. I connected to their network. I give an IP address manually. Then my work completed. I came to home. I connected to the home network. Again, I have to change the IP address manually because it won't change automatically. I have to change manually only. Okay. So in this manual changing also difficulty, right? Every day, 2, 3 times you have to change IP address. Difficult. So that is the one point. Remember. So what is the advantage of automatic? Automatic don't give a static kind of means constant IP addresses. We won't get it. We can able to get it, but generally I'm telling we can able to get a standard IP address. Always same IP address kind of stuff possibility is there, but we are not going to that point. Okay. When you change the network, so automatically IP address will be changes. Okay, less possibility of conflicts or no wrong IP entrance kind of stuff means DHCP server a sequence to give IP address to the clients in their pool or range. So obviously you are getting an IP address from a DHCP server means you won't get a wrong IP addresses and as well as a conflicts automatically will be resolved if in case any conflicts are occur. So everyone not required to know how to assign IP address. They should require to know how to connect it to the network. Once they connect a DHCP server will give you an IP address. Okay, router act like a DHCP server. Of course, your Wi-Fi router is your DHCP server. Different type of devices, example printers, smart TVs, smart LED bulbs are also there, right? So Echo, Alexa, Echo, dot kind of stuff. These are all DHCP server gives or assign an IP address to different type. So we can get an IP address to those devices. Guys, understand difference between manually configuration, dynamically configuration, what is DHCP, how to assign an IP address, what is DHCP server. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
That's it for a DHCP server, but I'm telling small story, so please carefully listen. So here it is. This is my DHCP server. The first one is DHCP server. A, B, C, D are a computers. A, B, D are a DHCP clients. DHCP client means obtain IP address automatically mode. Manual means manually assigned IP address. So APC, BPC, DPC, not C, don't have IP address. So they will ask a DHCP server, I want an IP address. So DHCP server check the scope. Can you see the scope? 192.168.1.10 to 192.168.1.110. Okay, DHCP scope. So APC asks, I want an IP address. Then server will give, yeah, 10 is available. Do you want it? Yes, take it. And BPC come, I want an IP address. Okay, so it will give like a 1.11 is available. Do you want it? Yes, take it. And DPC come and it asking, I want an IP address. There is a 1.12 IP address is available, then take it. DPC won't ask DHCP server. Why? Because it is already configured with an IP address, first of all, and it is showing like obtain use following IP address kind of stuff. Means DHCP enabled? No. So it is not a DHCP client manually configured. But there is a problem because C is 1.11 and B is 1.11. A conflict is generated. Immediately this conflict go to DHCP server. DHCP server will assign a new IP address instead of this conflicted IP address. So it will remove this 1.11 and give the new IP address 1.13. Okay. So who is this DHCP server? Your router is act like a DHCP server. Your we can have a Windows server to make a Windows server. We can make a Windows server as a DHCP server. We can make a Linux server as a DHCP server. Only thing is every DHCP server based on their network ID, they have a IP address range. So when devices are connected and request for an IP address, it will give an IP address from that range only. Once range completed, so you cannot assign. Next. If you see at a DPC got an IP address, the subnet mask and default gateway. And DHCP server address, of course, our DHCP server is also our local DNS server, local DNS server. Lease obtain and lease expiry also is shown. What is a lease obtain and lease expiry, guys? Lease obtain means you connect a device to the network and you got an IP address from DHCP server, that is lease obtain time. Morning 9:40, you got an IP address. Today morning 9:40, you got an IP address. That is lease uptime. Okay, lease uptime. For example, your lease duration is 12 hours. Lease duration is 12 hours. Means evening 9:40, the lease will be expired. The lease expire is evening 9:40. Morning 9:40, you got it. 12 hours of lease duration, then it is evening 9:40, your IP is expires in the server. So what is this expiry means? The client always, every 50% of lease duration means 12 hours, I said now, 12 hours lease duration. I said 12 hours lease duration. Morning 9:40, you got the IP address. So I will take 9 o'clock. Okay, I take 9 o'clock, morning 9 o'clock, I start my computer, I got an IP address. 12 hours means evening 9 o'clock. 50% of these 12 hours means 6 hours. At 6th hour, the renew process will start. Renew process will start. Client, client send a request to the server, renew my IP address. Renew my IP address. 6 hours means around 15, think so, means 3 o'clock. The client send a server to a request that please extend my lease duration, and server send an acknowledgement. Yes, another 12 hours extended, another 12 hours extended means, so it is 12 means 1, 2, how much it is? 27, it is crossing that limit also. 27, 24 means 00. Again 3 o'clock. Again morning 3 o'clock. 3 a.m. 3 a.m. This is 9 p.m. This is now 3 a.m. 3 p.m. to 3 p.m. Again 50%. Again 50%. Means night 9 o'clock. Night 9 o'clock. Again renew process starts. Okay, renew process will start. Again it will extend. In case I shut down my computer 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. I shut down my computer. So renew process is not starting. Renew process not starting. At 3 p.m. also I didn't start anything. So in the server, it remove your entry. Remove your name and your IP address from the server list. Okay. So if any device is required, meanwhile, so it can be able to give that IP address also possible. Okay, so that is lease uptime, lease duration. If you think it is bigger, so very simple, guys. It is like a process is, you got an IP address, so it is lease uptime. For first time you got an IP address, after first freshly you got an IP address, that is lease uptime. Lease, every lease having a time period. So once time period completed and the client renew its lease, by the time that IP address will be removed from the server. So client again required an IP address, it has to request the server again. How this request will work? So listen carefully. Yes, there is a client and there is a server. Okay, there's a lot of devices in the network. There is a lot of devices in the network, but there is a PC, which is a DHCP client, which is a DHCP client, and there is a DHCP server. Okay, this is server. So client does not know where is the server. Client does not know where is the server. Client do not have any IP address. Generally, client do not have any IP address. So server, okay, client does not know who is the server. The server won't tell anything on its own way, right? Server don't mind about any client. Need to get a request, then only it will respond. Now, what is our client will do? Client will send a discovery packet. Client will send a discovery packet to everyone in the network, including our server, including there is a PC, including some other servers. So these are will get a packet from our client with the source IP 0.0.0.0 and destination IP is a broadcast ID 255.255.250.250. So client send a broadcast to everyone and asking, are you a DHCP server? Are you DHCP server? Are you DHCP server? Are you DHCP server like that? So what these machines will do it? So they don't respond, they will drop the packet because there are not a DHCP servers. But this is a DHCP server, right? So it will respond. So what I said first one is client send a discovery packet to find who is a DHCP server. Now this is a DHCP server. So then it accept the packet and send a with the broadcast. Of course, it is a broadcast again because your destination also means your client don't have IP address and client don't know server IP address. So what client is doing? So it will broadcast a offer. It broadcast a offer. Yes, I am the DHCP server and I have an IP address in our range. So do you want an IP address? Like this. It will take an IP address, available IP address, and it will try to offer to the our client PC. I have an IP address. You want it? Then then client accept that. Okay, that is off. So what is the client will do? Client will ask again, means there is no choice, again broadcast only because it's not yet configured IP address properly. Client again send, yes, I want this IP address. It will send a request. Yes, I want this IP address. Then again, server send an IP address. The client take this IP address and configure it with this IP address. That is called a acknowledgement. Guys, discover, offer, request, acknowledgement. Discover, offer, request, acknowledgement. To make it more easy, I will tell you. This is a server and this is the client. Okay. This is a server, this is the client. Client try to discover who is the DHCP server. So client don't know who is the DHCP server. Try to discover DHCP server. To do that one, it send a DHCP discovery packet. DHCP discovery packet. So that is next. Once this request search received by DHCP server, DHCP server, yes, I am the DHCP server and I have a available IP address is there. Okay, so do you want it? Is that kind of offer it is given. Next one. The client request to the DHCP server. Yes, I want that IP address. So server offers, client request. Then finally server give an acknowledgement. The server with the IP address, lease obtained, lease expiry, and other configurations also. This is called a DORA process. Discover, offer, request, acknowledgement. Okay, guys, this is about a DHCP, and this is if you want to get IP address from DHCP server, your adapter is in the obtain IP address automatically. You want to assign an IP address on your own, that is the second option. Use following IP address only. There is a small point is there, APIPA. Already you know, guys, automatic private IP address. When you are checking an IP address and you see an IP address of a device is 169.254, means it is a APIPA. Okay, so that is means APIPA, automatic private IP address. When you will get it, you should get an IP address from DHCP server. You should get a IP address from DHCP server. Problem is there is some problem with your DHCP server, maybe. Okay, there is a problem with your DHCP server, disconnected, service problem, kind of stuff. So what happened? So your client PC is unable to get a IP address from DHCP server. The client PC is unable to get a IP address from DHCP server. Then what happened? System assign an IP address itself from APIPA address. So system understand this particular adapter is unable to get an IP address from DHCP server. It assign an IP address in the range of APIPA. The range is 169.254.0.1 to 169.254.0. Sorry, 255.254. So when you see an IP address of a device and it is showing 169.254 and x something dot something, it means it is a APIPA. Cannot able to communicate with APIPA. Cannot communicate with a. For example, I went outside. My laptop is disconnected from the current router network. Okay, so I won't get an IP address from my DHCP server. So what happened? My system will assign an IP address from 169.250. So what to do? First of all, check your DHCP server. Is DHCP server is working? Is connected to your adapter? Are you getting some proper IP address or not, like that? Any conflicts are there? So try to resolve the DHCP server related issues. Then till you are getting 169.254, try once like a disable or enable the adapter. Okay, right click on your NIC, disable or enable. So first disable it, then enable it. Or you can easily do it. Go to command prompt, put a ipconfig space slash release, ipconfig space slash renew. Release will remove all your old IP address. Renew will get a new IP address from DHCP. So that is what I'm trying to say. APIPA, automatic private IP address. When you check an IP address, it is showing 169.254 plus something that something means you are failed to get a IP address from DHCP server. So check the DHCP server, then it is running. Then you check your mobile so that you are getting it. Okay, so that is about DHCP, guys. Important one is this is what is DHCP, what is DHCP server, what is the use of DHCP server, okay, and difference between manually assigning IP address to the statically assigned IP address. Better that is, and DHCP server has a pool of IP addresses. Will assign enable to assign IP. Yeah, mind this again. DORA process is also there, but this is important. This is secondary. Of course, this is also you must know it. Already it is there. People also try. Guys, next topic is DNS, but I don't mix the DNS here.